it's got Derik, my man, one of my favorite people in the whole world. And we got Bobby riding with the Cowboys today. So
Yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, Dave, and good to see you, Bobby.
Yeah, same to you, Derik.
So tell us who you're with and all about your company. I want to hear all the groovy story from how you tell it to people.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Derik. I'm with Autobooks, and the way I position, or the way we talk about Autobooks, Dave, is we help small business owners get paid directly with their financial institution. And when we do that, we help financial institutions stay ahead of the competition, because the competition's a lot like that bear behind you. It's like fierce and it's massive, and it's coming to kill. So that's what we do. We help small businesses get paid. And then in doing that, we help financial institutions stay ahead of the competition.
What you guys do is where I think banking, particularly community banking, has got such a great advantage in small business.
Yeah.
If there were any questions over that, PPP should have answered that for everyone. So the fact that you've got a product that can actually go into the small businesses, and then you guys actually walk right in there and talk to the small business owners and talk about
right.
what needs are, that to me is like, whoa, that's pretty cool. Now we're getting to the heart of the matter of where community banks can really excel. And that's to hold on to that business side. And I know everybody, I mean, Bobby, you probably tell us more than anybody about, the FinTech and the vendors. Everybody's jumping ship here and saying, right, we're going to go to FinTech. That's where the money's at.
Right.
And realistically, the fear for community banks is to lose the small business account.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, you expanded on it. Obviously, I kind of just gave the short little speech there, but we do. So there's something very important that you discussed there, Dave. We talk to business owners regularly. So, you know me, like I'm a bit of a historian. I've been around this industry for a long time. And the thing that I think we're trying to replace is returning the voice of the customer back to the products and services the bank offers or credit union, right? And what I mean by that is financial institutions used to be in this physical geographic advantage where customers had to walk into their location. When they walked into their location, they were able to understand their needs. They were able to build products and services to meet those needs. They would see when a customer was delighted. They would see when a customer was disappointed. They would see when a customer was frustrated, and they did something about it. They also understood the ebbs and flows of the local community. They understood the challenges the community was going over. The financial institutions really used to be the hub of commerce in these communities because everything had to flow in and out of them. If I'm a business and I get paid in cash and check, the only place to deposit that capital and get access to those funds to pay my bills and pay my people was the local financial institution. Well, with the embracement of digital and really the need to move digital, all of those advantages for a financial institution go away. And so what happens is when the end customer no longer has to come in to deposit those funds, you lose, are they frustrated? Are they happy? Am I providing the right thing? You lose that casual conversation that sparks the idea of the banker to say, man, we could build a product to go solve that for you. You lose all of that. And in losing that, you start to lose your advantage as a community financial institution. You start to lose that hyper-connected nature of being connected to the market in a way that a digital entity is not. And we've kind of done ourselves a bit of a disservice over the past 7 years with saying, hey, everybody, go use the digital channel this, digital channel that, without complementing it by staying connected to the market, like regularly being out there talking to customers, talking to them about how they're using the digital channels, how they're using your bank for growth, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
And so I say all that to say, one of the things that we really take pride on is we want to be not only a widget or a tool inside your digital banking application. That's one part of our business, and that's needed. But we also want to be the voice of the customer attached to your organization. We also want to be the research arm that knows micro and small business banking deeper than you ever can. We also want to be the growth team that says, you know what, like we understand digital marketing today, Google ads, the use of YouTube, how to build, compelling marketing sites.
Hey, Bobby, what does every banker tell you their advantage is?
It's always customer service, right?
Right. There's small towns everywhere, and they're loaded with community banks. And the relationship, these are the people where the pitcher on the baseball team or the guy that's sitting to you in church on Sunday. These are your friends. They're business people, but at the same time, they're relationships and sometimes multi-generational.
Yeah.
For you to step in with products that actually accentuate that, but at the same time make their digital life better, man. So tell us a little bit. I know you guys could really dig in and do some neat stuff on cash flow. Tell me some more things that y'all do.
Yeah, sure. So whenever everything starts for us with, I've actually got it drawn up on my whiteboard here. We're going to be putting out a ton of stuff. It's what we call like the small business flywheel. So it's like the small business checking flywheel. And I feel like we can help, kind of financial institutions round this out. So if you break down what Square, PayPal, and these other competitors are doing, they're performing and acting like modern SaaS companies, software as a service companies. And that is one of their advantages over, banks today. Banks have not made that shift of like, okay, how do I think about acquisition of a customer? And then once I acquire the customer, how do I get them into a flywheel of growth? By using data, by using, smart marketing, by understanding their needs and putting the next best product in front of them. Like, how do we do that at the level Square does? And so what we're building is we've got these new tools out where we can go help create that flywheel that lives inside of the financial institution. So we can become your growth engine for small businesses, if you will. So you plug it in. What happens is we work before the customer ever becomes a customer now. So we're going to go help financial institutions with Google ads, with putting YouTube videos that drive search, that help businesses that are looking for a certain set of keywords around help me get paid, help me grow my business, and making sure that that search goes to a video or a website owned by a financial institution. Those YouTube videos have influencers, and it's all pointing back to NerdWallet, And basically, you talk to people, they say, "Well, we ended up, how did you end up with this account at this organization?" They're like, "Well, 3 or 4 people on YouTube were talking about it. It got good reviews on NerdWallet, so I knew it had to be good. It had to be the right choice." And boom, that's where they go, right? So that's acquire customers. How do you acquire customers? Well, we think we can help with that. Okay, once you acquire them, what's attracting them to these types of accounts? Like, what do they need? All right. The main thing a business owner wants, you guys run businesses. What do you want to get out of your business? What's the top priority? Get paid. People need to pay me, right? Like, I need to get paid as my business. I've never met a business owner that says, I don't need to accept the payment. That just doesn't happen. These are not nonprofits. They want to get paid. Okay. What tools are deployed today inside of a financial institution that say, as a business owner, we can help you definitively accept payment?
Yep.
Okay. In-store merchant services, that's good. But when you look at the penetration rates of that compared to Square, holy cow. And we can talk about some data because I know you guys love data. So, okay, how do you help me get paid? There's really only one way. Like, okay, if you accept cash or check, we got you covered. Or if you have a physical storefront, you want to, buy our merchant terminal solution and swipe cards, we got you covered. Other than that, digital invoicing, in-app payment acceptance, put a link on your website, all these digital capabilities, largely not supported by financial institutions today and dominated by PayPal, Venmo, Square, QuickBooks, and others. Okay. So we want to help with that. We want to shift the usage of those tools away from those third parties back to financial institutions so that once again, financial institutions can get ahead of the business customer's deposit.
To your overall point, how do the bankers kind of say, okay, how do we service that without going through basically, I don't want to say a product from our core, but if you do the numbers, damn near most of the time, that's what we're at.
Sure.
So where we end up is companies like yours. So,
Yep.
Bobby, chime in here, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anybody in the business. Let me say it this way. Our business is all about data and who's doing what and how everybody connects to who. And this is the guy that knows everyone, that knows every business out there, companies like yours. and collecting these products together and being able to help bankers, get to what would be a good product for this or what would be a good product for that. Sometimes it comes down to taking a company like an Autobooks and saying, okay, here's another company we have. You guys make good partners and be able to offer services to bundle together. Do you see a lot of that, Bobby?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And we do a lot of that work as well for a lot of companies out there is, what we call partner network, right? So yeah, I totally agree, Dave. There's a lot of that matchmaking going on.
And to Derik's point, you don't have to, the idea of a super app, we have to do everything. You don't have to do everything. You have to work with everybody. There's a moment in time right now that we all come together and we start putting things together because we've talked to businesses, because we know other vendors, because we know what bankers are trying to fight. And we begin to see what the fintechs are taking these little micro journeys and turning them into products. And we start seeing opportunity here for banking like never before. And I mean, everybody's like, community bank is dead. I'm like, have I got something to tell you? You don't understand the whole system. Every bit of this system is reliant on a community bank.
That's right.
And as we get this ball rolling correctly, and we can share real information, not misinformation. And again, quit trying to make money. Start trying to help these guys. If we don't help these guys, none of us are going to make it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the biggest message of the day. The other thing is putting these pieces together is not easy. And it takes us having a collaboration with people like you in front of the bankers like we are right now. Hey, bankers, I want you to hear all these things and start going, now what do you think they should do? I think they should probably pick up the phone, call Autobooks, have this conversation with you. Listen to conversations that you've had with other businesses and what you've learned, and you can share that with the banker. And then, hey, there may be another fintech company that comes along next week, and I call you on the phone and go, hey, you guys would be pretty cool if you hooked up with Atomic, that'd be something special here. And maybe we can get a deal where the businesses, like we had what was Aaron Simpson? Remember Bobby?
Oh yeah. Encore Bank.
Yeah, man, they're basically taking really cool business clients and having those clients try to onboard their own customers into the bank relationship.
Oh, wow. I love that. I love that.
It's like, now how do you do that, right? Well, they're pretty sneaky and they do some pretty cool things. I say sneaky, like smart, clever.
Yeah.
And it works like crazy. Their bank's blowing up and everybody's making money, and it's a great deal for the businesses. It's a great deal for the business clients. It's a great deal for the bank itself. These are the solutions, the win-wins, not the
Sure.
bank, not the coming to the theater near you, but the actual coming together that makes it work to where everybody wins. And that's what I think you guys deliver. What do you think?
I mean, so for one, I've got an idea. I would love to see somebody execute on this. What you just said sparked my interest. Every account opening vendor should go partner with HR departments at large organizations, because you know what's on the HR form for employment? The same dang information you need to open up an account. So like, just go embed it and actually go, hey, if you're a bank, how can you go power HR onboarding forms for your largest employers so that in doing so, they also open up an account with you for direct deposit. All right. So that's one idea. So the second thing I would say is, based upon that conversation, Dave, about staying close, here's what I agree upon. Community banking. I don't believe community banking goes away, because you can't NFT lawn care. People need physical homes to live in. They need food. They need local services, right?
Hang on, I had to digest that real quick. You can't NFT lawn care.
That's right.
I love that.
I'm going to steal that one. That was so good.
Go ahead. And so you're going to have people connecting with people. It's going to be a role for community-based financial organizations to go service those physical geographic communities. Now, most of that service and capabilities can be done through the digital channel, and that's okay. But the one thing I would recommend you do is go talk to your customers yourselves. Don't wait for Autobooks to bring the information. Go reach out. When you're evaluating a technology product, build a prototype around what your customers want. Do not build a spreadsheet of features and capabilities that have been, this growth of features that have been added since 1985 when internet banking first came out. Don't plop that down in front of a vendor and say, once you do all these things, then you've got our business. 90% of that stuff is not used, go talk to your customers, find out what is most important, and challenge the vendor to solve that problem. Because if they solve your most important problem, the other stuff can wait, quite frankly. The only way to build the future is go talk to the customers, ask what they need, and it's not hard. Just go build what your customers want. Don't rebuild the same thing over and over.
Bobby?
That's one thing. The second thing is be careful with how you look at fintech partners and other banking solutions as being competitive to existing solutions you provide. And what I mean by that is if you look at your data and you look at your accounts, the amount of competitive activity being connected to the bank accounts that you compliantly serve is staggering. So let's just talk about business banking services as an example. A common criticism that we hear a little bit is like, we go empower businesses to enroll online, only takes minutes, they can start accepting payments. And somebody in the bank says, well, that's competitive to our merchant program. And we don't want to do that because we make this money off our merchant program. Yeah. And what I want to say, quite frankly, is just stand up on their desk and say, you are already being competed against every day at a level you cannot even imagine by Square, PayPal, Venmo inside of your organization. You need to do everything you can to complement your existing merchant program that only services a sliver of the market. This is not competitive. This is additive. So Bobby and Dave, if I told you $13 billion organization, how many millions of dollars in deposits from business customers came in from Venmo in the month of August? $13 billion bank, $10 million just for Venmo in that organization being deposited. You add PayPal to that. PayPal that month was 9 million. Square that month was $28 million. Okay. The bank's merchant services program was about $3 million combined that month.
One of the things to look at with some of this is, how does the receivable of this is another study. I mean, what's a typical business client? I mean, is this like lumberyard or is it Amazon, right? So how they receive their payment, like, are we talking about card not present, like in an Amazon situation, or are we talking about, I get a payment by check. Okay. So depending on how these things work, and the banker has to be prepared for kind of all of this, just like his business client has to be prepared for all of this. And so like for us, this is just, ancillary information, but we moved from one community bank to another community bank over one feature, and it was remote deposit capture.
Wow.
The one institution had these absurd limits to where, I mean, if you were doing any more than mowing yards for a living, you really couldn't do remote deposit capture. For us, we were bringing in a hell of a lot more than that. And so we just exceeded all their limits. And so I went to another institution that said, hey, unlimited. I'm like, unlimited? It's like, not worried about the risk? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
And so we moved over there. We do 98% probably of our receivables through just take a picture of the check when it comes to the PO box. Now, if we were running a business more like Amazon, where people go to FedFis.com and they buy stuff and they use their card to do that, or they're able to use Venmo, or they're able to use, hey, I'll take anything, right? Who would care, right? Why would I be controlling over my client's purchasing ability? And back to the banker, this leads right into the damn crypto conversation for me every time. Why do you need to decide what people do with their money? What you need to do is allow people to do whatever they want. Do you agree with that, Bobby?
Oh, bingo. No, that sold me at the roundup. Dave, you had said that to a lot of bankers week before last, and man, everyone was just like, bingo, right? I don't have to believe in crypto if I'm a banker. I don't believe in it. I don't have to buy into it, but I got to offer it, right? I got to let my customers trade it if they want to, or else they're going to go to Coinbase, right? What if Coinbase opens up a checking account?
Yeah, Derik, I kind of made a point to everybody. You let 52 million people leave your bank to go to Venmo, and you let another 34 million people leave to go to Square, and now they're all saying we want to trade crypto. So you got, I don't know, whatever the numbers are, 25% of people out there, 30% of people already trading crypto, but we make them go to Coinbase. We make them go to some other place to be able to do these things. And I said, are you going to make the same damn mistake you made last time? Oh, I mean, how many times are you going to make that mistake? it's not your money. Who gives a shit what they do with it? It doesn't matter to you. The question is, and this is really a cool point. I really want you to think this one through for a second. Bobby and Tanner talk to me about this all the time. And I finally hey, being slow took me a while, but I got the idea eventually that this bookend conversation. Okay, it hit me one day what they're talking about. Okay, partner, everybody partners. And like you say, hey, we're going to connect all these dots and let all these people do these things. There needs to be some common sense. If I think this through, for example, I'm going to take money and leave my bank and go into a crypto. Okay, Mr. Crypto Partner, that you want me to allow people just like click into Venmo or click into anybody else outside my bank, I got to make damn sure I don't enable that guy to do a direct deposit. Now all of a sudden he can take my customers and steal them from me. I need to make sure if that money goes out the door this way, that when it comes back to my bank. Let's put a bookend on that relationship. Okay, this takes a little more horse sense than I think most people actually have, is to realize where the bookends make sense. And again, back to, you want to sell a product to a bank, make a banker money. It's not that hard. Bankers, you want to make money? Let me tell you what you do. Pull down, actually know a guy who owns a company like this, but you can pull down all this data on banks. Go find, sort by earnings categories and find everybody in the top 2 percentile of every earnings category. Then go take that short list of institutions and examine their financials, and you will find exactly where the money is being made in this business. Talk to those bankers and find out how they do it. Hey, any last thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean, so the last thoughts I would say, I just want to end on the story for my sister-in-law. So because like I always have to end on a good customer story. Okay, I called my sister-in-law, who is a part-time stay-at-home mom, is building a photography business, and I asked her, "How do you accept payments from your customers?" We went through her bank account, and she collected payment over the last 90 days in 13 different ways, whether it be cash or check or Venmo or Cash App or PayPal or Facebook Messenger payment. And you get to the story and you say, Emily, like, why are you collecting it from all these different ways? And it's, well, my customer is just saying, I'm going to pay you. Will you accept? And they're dictating the terms, more or less, right? If you just go talk to people, you'll find out the answers. It's good to also get the quantitative data and to do the deep research and to do the data analysis. That's great. That validates your assumption of the market and what customers are telling you. There's a time and place for that. But if you just go talk to people, don't wait for them to come in. So, don't wait for the people that are complaining, only the loudest voices in the room. Like one of the misconceptions, hey, all of our businesses are using QuickBooks. No, bull crap. You only hear from people about QuickBooks because the connection between internet banking and QuickBooks sucks. The reality is most people don't use QuickBooks. They use Microsoft Excel, Word docs, et cetera, et cetera. So go talk to the average end customer, find their pain points. You all are great. For years and decades, you've built businesses, bankers I'm talking to, you've built a business on responding to the needs of your customers and providing banking solutions to meet those needs. This is no different. This is not rocket science. Then you go surround yourself and complement what you do well with companies, hopefully like Autobooks, that are a complement to what you want to do well. You want to go serve small businesses. You want to go kick Square in the teeth. You want to go take down the 800-pound bear behind Dave, with QuickBooks and PayPal and Venmos of the world. Like, let us go help. Let a vendor come and help, and don't relegate them to just being a widget. If banking and bank technology is not Field of Dreams, if you build it, people are not guaranteed to come. You have to tell them about it. You have to market to them. You have to call them. You have to email them. You have to outcompete communications that they're receiving from PayPal, Square, and everybody else. The world is changing. Competing for attention is harder than it's ever been before. But we can do this. Let's just partner up. Let's do what you all do well. Partner with somebody like us that does some things really, really well in a safe, compliant way. And let's go make some magic.
Perfect. Hey, man, thanks for riding with the Cowboys. Great job.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks,
See you
Take
next
care.
time.